Weekly Dama news coming at you right now. A little later than our usual schedule. I'm trying to, it's been moving back. I usually have been trying to do it in the past, like year, hitting Sunday nights, which was Sunday mornings for everyone. Then I kind of shifted over because that was always a little tough for me, and I brought it over to Wednesdays for my time, which would be Tuesday nights your time, because all the time, good kendama sessions around the world from the get-go, from the beginning of the beginnings. Tuesdays were always the days to have the jams. We're talking about the, Ken Garden Tuesdays? Was it? Yeah, at San Francisco. We're talking about jam nights from Terra. That was happening Tuesday nights. Sulab's kendama boot jams were always a Tuesday night. It just fell upon a Tuesdays as always being great. So that's what I was trying to do, Kendertainment's weekly Dama news. But hey, here we are right now. We're doing a weekly Dama news that is pushed back a bit because I felt like shit a few days ago. I had a cold that has hit me in many ways. So went to the doctor this morning, got some meds, took those, feeling pretty good. You'll hear me cough every once in a while, but I don't have a runny nose, and that's a good point. So weekly Dama news, I'm going to bring it because there was a lot of stuff that went on, and I'm like, if I push it back to next week, then it's going to take a little bit longer. Any case, hello, MJ here, host of Weekly Dama News, brought to you by Kendertainment, and we're going to be going over the things that have happened within the kendama realm, as we usually do. If it's on YouTube, if it's over here on Instagram, and hey, if you're new here, you might not know, but at the end of every session, we do a Q&A. So you can use the little question tool down there and ask me a question. And at the end of the whole session, of all the news points, we're going to go in and answer some of those questions to the best of my knowledge. So here it's, it's a very communal type of Dama news that we go over, because there's a lot of stuff that happens. There's a lot of stuff that I may have missed, or maybe some information that I'm incorrect with. So definitely let me know. So without further ado, saved post, well, I'll guess from the beginning, we'll say, go to the YouTube channel, Kendertainment's YouTube channel. I've just put together a new video, finally edited it, because I've had it in my hard drives for a while. The collab between Coach and High Receipts. High Receipts have taken off tremendously because of the EKC that happened, put together by Theodore Fiorina of Grain Theory, and it has just made the world shift their focus to Europe, as well as shift some of the focus over to the High Receipts and who exactly they are. Maybe we didn't. Everyone knew about the individual players, but did you know that they were a super group? Kaito from GT, Nobunori from Kendama USA. We have Yasu from Chrome, as well as Soma from Chrome. It's a really dope group of people who are just on top of the game to the max, okay? Any case, so I recorded that video. That was like March, April. Yeah, I think it was towards the end of March. This event was happening with this brand bag, of course, Coach, if you watched the video already, with Coach, and they hit up the High Receipts and had them do a performance. It was pretty cool, pretty amazing to see. And if you haven't seen it, go check out the YouTube video. It's a short, nice and sweet version of what happened and why it happened. So go check it out, definitely. That's how we're going to start it off. I'm going to need some of my drink here and there so I'm not coughing this whole time. All right, so first up, here we go. We have Soul Kendamas. Let's say it now before I forget. Hey, Soul Kendamas over on YouTube released their 40 or a little less than 40-minute EKC vlog video. It's massive. Go check it out. There's many rippers that happen. I didn't even get through the whole thing. It is so massive. That's when you're going to sit down with some snacks, a drink in hand, and enjoy what the Soul Squad did when they were over in the EKC this year? Shit, what was that? Was that last year's version or this year's? Because, sometimes we'll be doing that. EKC's out 2023. No, it was from this past year. Awesome. Good job on getting it out. Because, over here, I'm pretty slow at getting those vids out. But awesome to see, amazing. So go look at that. And the post that I was going to focus on is that, hey, if you want new Kens, they're everywhere. We all use Tamas, we sesh Tamas until they look pristine. Not they don't look pristine, but they play pristine, and they are some of the greatest for stalls. And it's just honed in multiple ways. If it's going to be talking about the paint, if you're talking about the bevel itself, it's just overall good. But sometimes you need to pair it up with a fresh Ken. So who's got you? Multiple companies got you. It was just on my first post that Legacy is bringing the leg up shape. Yeah, I think like 4 or 5 times I had to question myself. I'm like, why do they call it the leg up shape? Because of the Legacy, all right? It's made in the factory here in Japan, where the Legacy is made, where Sulab Damas are made as well, Kens and Tamas. And they have their Legacy that they made recently with Seoul and the Legacy company. Actually, I'm not sure what the company's name is. We all know Hyundai from China. I've heard it before, but it just slips my mind. It's kind of forgettable. Yeah, so we were talking about, you got home Tamas and you need fresh new Kens. Here's a very high-end option that you can pick up from Seoul Kendamas. If you like the one-up shape, hey, now you can go and pick up the leg-up shape, as well as, hey, go again to YouTube and check out what Seoul has released, because they have a little video with Dean and Juryu showing off the new shape. I guess not a new shape, but the shape. Other companies that got your back when you're looking for Kens is Terra Kendama. Recently, they've just posted a lot about, hey, we got Kens in all of these new shapes that maybe you haven't tried yet. So here's your chance to try them in multiple variations of woods. All right, variants of woods. We have the Nemesis shape that Misu created. We got the Kocho shape that the boy Rod, I don't know, that came out. The homie Slice, fellow nerd, kicking it in Europe as we speak, making the Kocho. And then the gyro from Max Angel. So they all have their own shapes. It's a cool thing that more and more companies are doing, letting these pros create a shape. And I feel like it fits hand in hand. Like GT did it back in the day, and it really made sense because they were crafting their kendamas one by one. So cool. And then, yeah, I feel like it kind of took a bit of time, but Terra is one company that totally should have, I feel like it has been focusing on, you know, the different types of wood they have and their hand turners in the company, multiple. So they should have variant shapes for their different players and the different play styles. And it just gives us more options as players to choose from. So that's cool. So go check it out. I feel like they'll also like bringing some different styles of wood where they have like a sapple in here. What do we got? It doesn't say anything. But in any case, pretty cool to see. So if you need a Ken, there's you go. Get some Kens. All right. Hey, oh my gosh. Okay, so there was an event that happened. All right. There was the California Kendama Cup, the CKC, the Surf's Up competition. And a lot of things happened. If you were like me, you didn't be there. You were not there. You didn't be there. Oh, all over the place, guys. You weren't there. You may have seen just some live streams possibly on Instagram, or just seen some pictures from the people who were there and stories and all that jazz. But some of the announcements that were made was one big one. Joe Nelson, do we call him Joey? Joe Nelson is KUSA Pro. Now this one struck me. Like, did you guys even know that Joe is on the KUSA team? Did that slip my radar somehow? Because I felt like he wasn't. And then all of a sudden, not only is he announced to be on the team from my perspective, because again, I didn't know he was on the team. He just gets brought on and straight to pro. That's big. That's pretty big. I don't even know Joe was on Chrome before, P-Docs, Depot, and look at this, even strings, lefty strings, kendama strings and things. Who Here's more stuff that I don't know about. See here on Weekly Dama News, not only are you getting the news, sometimes it turns into a reaction video of me not knowing what's up with these companies popping up left and right. There's a whole company that's just about kendama strings. And Joe Nelson is a multi-sponsored player. Look at that. Kendama USA Pro, P-Docs, apparel, champagne, strings, lefty strings. Kendama Depot, no, I don't know what's going to happen with the Depot because, I mean, they just do a great job of having weight balance matched. Such a great amount of choice and selection for people in North America to pick up Damas, not only in North America, but from overseas as well. So I don't know. I was always curious. I'm like, what kind of a sponsorship is that? I guess he just has free range and he's like sponsored by everybody kind of. But now he's fully KUSA. Was this something that I missed? You guys let me know. When Joe and Mags, no, Chrome? As today, I will no longer be playing for Chrome Kendama. There you go. And that happened September 15th, 2002. Are you guys not as surprised as I am? When did he go KUSA? Okay. I think that was just like all of a sudden. I'm in shock. And then here, okay, he's playing some KUSA Tama or Kens, Mags, you know, just scrolling through, seeing the timeline when it's shifted over and he's starting to play a lot of KUSA stuff. There you go, craft bag right there. And it seems like it wasn't that far off. Where's this first KUSA post? That's a GT. Here's a Haley. There's a Terra. There's another Haley. We'll go to this one. Favorite Tama of 2002-3, the Bish mod. And that was March of this year. How long was this in the talks? A little surprising, a little shocking, but hey, congrats, Joe, to going straight through every kind of hurdle, it seems like, again, from the outside, being so far away, never met the dude, but to see him, bam, get put in as Kendama USA Pro. Not only is he announced, of course, they had the time to create a kendama for him, his pro mod. So definitely 6 months ago, at least a half a year before this announcement, that he was able to get these mods to him. Congrats, amazing. So that was one announcement that happened at the CKC. You got to be careful. And then the other one was, hey, Wyatt Bray finally confessing his love for the quad. Quad Kendamas picked up Wyatt. Dual sponsorship right here. Another one Kendama player that has taken on a separate sponsor than just a single one. Before he was No Jumper. Previously, before that, he was KUSA, Kendama USA. And then after he left New Jumper, man, getting them all mixed up. No Jumper, Sue Lab, and of course he's playing Kens too, but Sue's pretty much only sending him Tamas, and if that's what he's jamming, hey, why not? Here you go, quad Kendamas. And not only is he gonna, like, of course, play the Kens that he's been jamming for a long time, but there you go, pro mod as well. Bray might be the the only pro out there with the most variant pro mods, amount of pro mods. Right? I believe this might be true. We would have to fact check. We can get Dan Robinson in here to take out, dust off the books to see exactly when all the pro mods came out for Wyatt and how many iterations came out. And then if there's anybody else that comes close to that, rivals that, or succeeds that. But hey, there you go. It's finally released into the world. Wyatt is quad. That is an awesome sight to see. Another thing that has been announced, now this one's just 4 days ago, 5 days. Yeah, 4 days ago, we see Locked Studios making lots of moves. They're still kind of, under the radar, but the people who are in that area, I believe in California, a lot of people are hyped on the Locked Studios. The shape looks pretty wacky. For me, from from the perspective that I always see it, which is through a rectangle, it seems long, looking like it's good for slings, but it looks like everyone's doing like pretty ridiculous lunar lines with them. Now, with any kind of lunar, you could pretty much with any kind of kendama, you can do a lunar, all right? You just have to find that balancing point. Of course, the things that will help you will be the types of tama paint that you use, as well as the balance of the ken. But that doesn't mean that some kens, it's not impossible. I mean, there might be some impossible ones, but you know what I'm saying? Overall, the stuff that we play with from now in this generation of ours that we have right now is all very, very playable kendamas, ken shapes, but it just looks weird. It looks long. That slip grip looks really like extra bulky and curved and round. Very interesting shape. I've never played one, never held one personally, but Lock Studios, going back to it, picked up Dama, Grayson, Lucker is locked down as a Lock Studio. So I remember Lock Studio in the past, they're calling themselves scientists if you look at their Instagram profile. I remember, was it earlier this year that they were saying like something new is coming. You know, they rebranded the logo into this like Batman-esque pumpkin, a scarecrow mask type logo. And then I thought there was going to be something more big coming, which I don't know. I guess there was the different shapes and then it just continued on. Now, again, it's a pretty small brand. So it's like, who knows how much they're going to push, how much they're going to invest in creating new shapes so frequently that we see a lot of the bigger companies do. But still, cool to see them supporting the people around them and making a stronger community in their area. And that's really a very important thing to do. Another thing that was announced during the CKC was another smaller brand on the come up, Scarce, focusing on their types of paint that they have, as well as just like the artistic touch for all of the Tama designs, has Nathan Wilcox on the team now. Is he? Do they specify as pro? No, he's a new member. It's Nate Mate. He's from Australia. He's now in Scarce. Awesome, amazing, good to see. And again, the California homies, there's a different vibe from every country, from every corner of the different cities that you go and you play kendama in. And it's really going to thrive more when there's more people, if there's smaller brands pushing and creating stuff that isn't going to go very far, but the local community can help support. That's when things are really going to get like emotional. I don't know. I've been listening to Dama Dads. The recent one, they're talking about EKC, and they're at, I think it was part 2, and they were specifically talking about how when the local heroes, when, you know, video premieres were happening and stuff, of course there was cheers for each video, but when it came up to some of the Euro homies getting some feature, that the place would erupt and just clap and be so cheerful and supportive of whoever's, you know, is up on screen. So it's really cool to see, you know, again, that community, very different, but it's awesome to see that no matter where you are, that community will support each other to keep it alive, keep it, that heartbeat going, because no one wants to go to the ER. All right. Other announcements? No, I don't think so from that time. But there you go. We got a lot of new players, and we have some new pros. Other new things. Let's go over to. Ooh, those are a little wacky. Let's go to some more product. Well, actually, no. We're gonna cut it back. We're gonna jump back for a second. We're not gonna go to product just yet. We're gonna talk about NE Kendama Classic, the neck, as it also is horribly known as. It's not a great shortened term to just call it neck. I don't believe so. It's not so flattering. Any case, New England kendama event going down. The fellow MJ kendama is Michael Joseph Reeves, the MJR, the major, is in charge of the whole thing, putting it together for possibly what, like the 4th, 5th time, depending on when they did it for pandemic season as well. But awesome to see. If you guys didn't know, I'm a fellow nutmegger from the tri-state area. I'm from Connecticut originally. And yeah, this is pretty dope to see that there is, again, we're talking about communities and stuff, and there's a lot of smaller brands that are in these communities, in these areas. And if they aren't there, I feel like a lot of the players and that scene could just fizzle out or not even exist. So huge thing that MJR is putting this together as he always does every year. My throat's feeling it. So if you're out there, go check it out, because this year he's doing something new. All right. We know normal events as being multiple days now. It's not just a single day event. A lot of people are trying to push themselves and create multiple day events. There's also open that usually happens in many events. There could be ladders. There could be freestyle, right? The major threw a curveball at everyone, and he created add-on competition. It's just straight add-ons. I don't know the text is add-on. Look, there's a finalist for begins. All right. So you got multiple days, as I was saying before. So they have like what, 3 days now? It's the 30th of June and July 1st and 2nd. It seems like there's going to be camping involved, so you can really like hunker down and hang out with the Dama homies and really connect, and you know, just take advantage of all the time that you have together, because there's usually not so much time that you're like, okay, we see each other so much, maybe we even chat online, but in person that we don't have so much of an option to do that. So here it is. Again, another very important reason why smaller events and smaller brands are good to have around in different areas to do stuff like this, to keep the community vibrant. Excuse me. I was going to go with that. So I encourage anyone who had kind of an idea or is like on, you know, who's created something and is still like putting in a lot of work, a lot of effort into being a brand in the kendama world, to keep going and reach out to the community and support them, and the love will come back around. So as we see what's happening again with Kendama Depot, but yeah, throwing a curveball, you add on competition. Okay, that's pretty amazing, but it's not over. You have Bingo Dama. Sorry, Dama Bingo. Yeah, it sounds much better. Dama Bingo is happening right there. Look, there's amateur Dama Bingo. Is there advanced Dama Bingo? Beginner, and then there's speed ladders. Okay, classic speed ladders are happening for beginner, intermediate, advanced. And then there's the amateur Dama Bingo. Will there be more Dama Bingos coming up? Not that I see. If I'm looking at our days, video premieres will happen. Oh man, and that's it. And then Dama Bingo, freestyle, prelims, finals. Okay, freestyle on, excuse me, the second day, because that's the big one. And we see that shift happening, you know, in the past. NAKO, NACOs, MKOs that were happening. Open was the main thing. They had a freestyle, but freestyle was usually on the first day, and then the final day was the open. But now people are finally were like, yo, the hype, of course, can be there and is there for open, but the amount of hype and the vibe is very, very different from open to your freestyle events and competitions on stage. So awesome to see that, you know, we have a switch here. So you are going to have the freestyles happening on the final day as the last, the crescendo, the final hurrah at the end of the event is going to happen. So that's really good to see, because that's where everyone just gets their minds melted and can go home. Because you don't want mind melters on the first day, because then how can you tolerate the second day? So that's what's happening. Kendama's the NEC, New England's Kendama Classic is happening. Camping, competition, community. The 3 C's. It's almost like the California Kendama Cup. only 2 C's, but still these 3 C's are here. All right. We also have, we already talked to that one. And then I wanted to hook back, to some interesting products that were coming out. Collab, Occult Kendamas and Forest Fire Customs. This is just like a match made in heaven, I think. You know, you have Occult, who definitely brings this kind of like darker tone of designs, and just like the name suggests, occult type, horror-ish designs and themes for everything. And then same with Forest Fire Customs, always creating some amazing burn lines and great art on his Damas. So hand in hand, these things look so cool. Very, very eye-pleasing. Probably one of one? Are they all one of ones? Art pieces, pretty much. There will only be one of each of these available. So only 5 in total. There you go. That's it. Pick one that makes your fancy. Pick one that's your fancy. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So that's awesome to see. Active kendama. Here we go. Hooking it over to active. You guys know about active kendama? Based in San Diego, California. I just thought they were from like China or something. Because I've heard about active for a while, but who is active? You guys know? California, San Diego, California. Shared kendama love globally since 2015. Hey, okay. You know, they got the exclusive hollow core design and a shinaji. What is shinaji? Shinaji? New flavor? Shinaji? That's what it is? But hey, there's a few different types of info coming from these guys. All right. So one is they have a bunch announced at CKC, releasing some new sizes. They have a mini size, a colossal, the mini, shinaji, jumbo, and colossal. They're all gone now. Great. Have you guys played with mini before? Minis are fun. And this mini is definitely different from the Sweets minis that we've seen. The Sweets minis are maybe like baby sumos, I feel like. Look at that. Colossal. Very interesting what the colossal is like. We see Sweets doing a good job of selling kaijus. In the past, Crom was there bringing up the XL, the double XL, and the monster triple XL, which would cost you an arm and a leg. And at the same time, it can take an arm and a leg if you don't respect its play. So there you go. Very simple tracking design. Very reminiscent to, I think, Deal With It did a colorway. I mean, it's just whatever, red, black, and white. Similar to this. They call it like the devil or something. But hey, it goes with the Active's colors, which are those colors. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about with Active was this. They got a new commemorative Li Ho Chang mod. You guys know why? What is that? I didn't get it at first. I had to watch the video or read to actually understand. This is supposed to be an airplane on a runway, going. And then here, what does that say? Most airplanes kendama catches in 1 minute. Okay? There's the logo up there, guys. Guinness Book of World Records. So Li Ho Chang seems like within 1 minute hit 45 consecutive airplanes. Do they need to be airplanes? Or does it need to be consecutive? I'm not so sure about that. I don't think so. But it happened March 11th, this past year. There's a whole video where Li Ho is explaining it. There's subtitles, so you can watch it and enjoy it and understand everything. And then it goes into his last minute is just him doing this. And I think they actually just posted the video on their social media accounts as well, of him doing the 45 in the 1 minute. But the interesting thing that caught my eye was I've seen some things happen on TV or even live with all the kendama. How many big cups can we catch, that they do here in Japan? And there's always a Guinness Book person there. Now, I'm not sure because if it's on TV, like it makes it more official looking and it's good to have someone actually there. So they put someone there. But in this video that you watch, there's no like suited officer official of Guinness Book that is counting and making sure that all his airplanes are hit and everything's documented properly. It's just like two homies sitting on the side with counters, both counting and seeing how many he actually landed within the minute. So I'm like, how genuine is this? Did the Guinness Book actually, did they do this? Really? You know, we remember back in the day, who was it? Ace? You guys remember Ace from Sweets Kendamas from Hawaii? Then he was living in Japan for a while, like up in Hokkaido, and I have no idea where he is. But he was just dropping videos on Facebook community of him doing like 2 hours or like something ridiculous, like an hour and a half of just nonstop earth turns. And during that time, many people were like, hey, this should be Guinness Book. We should get this guy in the Guinness Book World Records for this thing. And then I feel like some people did some research. I think I did too a little bit, and learned that, yeah, you need to pay like, I don't know, something crazy. You need to pay a lot of money to have a certificate to make it like, yes, it's official Guinness Book World Records. So here in the video that is up on YouTube, doesn't seem like there is much emphasis put on how it is Guinness Book World approved, but in visual wise, but in the video, but like on the text and everything that you see, it says, yeah, Guinness. So very surprising. And then I tried to search on Guinness, their website, to see if there was anything that came up, but there wasn't. But this looks just like a screen capture, a screen grab from maybe their website, smartphone site. Any case, so if you're thinking about this, right, if you want to be a Guinness Book World Record holder for something, you pretty much just have to have the money for it. Dish that out to Guinness, and then they will be like, oh yeah, we'll watch your weird ass attempts to do this whatever ass thing. And here you go, 45 in 1 minute. I've gone to JKA events, Japanese Kendama Association events here in Japan, and I have seen little kids rip through airplanes like this. And I'm telling you, if you've ever seen one of these JKA kids rip through airplane, like consecutive like time limit comps, and then you watch like Liho, like they would smoke him. Just the performance of like when the Ken is entering the Tama, almost at the same time that you hear like the nice smack sound, they're grabbing the Ken out and bringing it down ready for the next airplane. And if you watch the video of Liho doing it on the Active's YouTube channel, you can see he's doing that, but not at the same speed that I've seen here in Japan. So there you go. Liho got it though. So congrats. 45. It seems like a small number. Yeah, you might think so, but give it a try. Time yourself. Good little challenge. Simple airplanes, yes, but how many can you do within 1 minute? Right? I might have to challenge this myself. All right. What else we got? Oh, hold on a second. Okay, so Sue Lab was also doing a bunch of stuff. Of course, they've had their new type of paint that is out. What was it called again? The Evolve Clear. Not the Evo Clear. Evolve Clear. And they did a nice little like bar graph here so everyone can understand exactly what the grippiness is of their paints compared to your standard China-made Hungary paints, okay? So, of course, we got sticky, silk rubber. What is that one? Foul paint, jumping up there. Friction clear, light. This new Evolve, and then the friction clear. So, and this is, there's a little like asterisk from our research, it says. So we see that the rubber will have the least amount, again, from their perspective. And depending on the humidity level or the dryness of wherever you're living, all of these factors, I believe, can change from a small amount to a large amount. So that's one thing to think about. And that's why I think it's good that they have this little, asterisk of our records from their research, what they figured out. So yeah, sticky is good. And I think like a lot of companies just go for sticky or something else, and it's usually not rubber. It's usually stickies. So rubber's here. You have the, what was that again? The foul paint. So it's like a sticky. Foul paint is right there. So it's better. Foul paint is stickier than your friction clear lights. Just by a few notches. Man, my throat does not like me talking so much. I didn't think about this until, hey, here we are. So, cool thing to see. Do you agree with it? Yes? No? But nice to see, because other companies don't do anything like this, right? Which I would love to see. There's a lot of artists out there creating new different types of paints, but no one is really like showing a guideline of what is where in their perspective even. You know, even if it's, like I was saying, it's going to change depending on where you are, but still there's no one that's like, okay, this paint is around here, this paint's around here, this paint's around here, in average. And I don't know exactly just how you can test that, you know? How would you test that? We need to get like a rocket scientist, NASA worker to get it, an engineer to get in here and explain exactly what would be a good way to test the grippiness of something. Like, is it just put it, you would have to use the same Ken. Is it just putting it on and tilting it at degrees and having some sort of measurement to see what the angle is until it finally falls off? But does that show the stickiness, or does that show the balance or unbalancedness of the Ken that you're working with? It's not that easy. Not that easy. Okay? But hey, Sue's got that up there so you can get some information, because that's always good to get some extra information. Another new stuff. Okay, oh, that was the only one, huh? Yeah, that was the only one. And then, hey, we got a new Sweets crew member? Not a new signature. There was 2 new signatures. I think Subtronics got one recently, and then another new signature mod from Sweets Kendama is Gavin Babcock. Babcock. Looks like he is a frisbee golfer, and this will be their second. So you see, like, Sweets is just honing in on some hobbies that he has, because or a lot of people have been getting into this false thing, and it's kind of taken over Sweets a little bit, because here's their second series, signature series of a kendama that's out there. So again, I'm just waiting, guys. We're just waiting for Sweets to get in contact with a professional gamer to create something for them, because we know that Sweets rages and he loves his Mario and his speed runs and all that wackiness, and it would just go hand in hand, I feel. So we got all these people getting outdoors. You know, I guess that makes more sense with kendama, and maybe it might not hit so hard with couch slouching video gamers. I mean, maybe you're not slouching. Posture is always good. So that is going down, and I think everyone, I'm at my last 2 posts. Burl are releasing information little by little about what's up with their project and who are the people, the pros who are going to be featured, or the filmers who are going to be featured. Esteban is in there now of GT, for GT, and he is set as a filmer for Burl. Who's he filming? Himself? Is he just going to be an overall filmer to help other people get clips in and stuff to create an edit? Is he editing, or is he just a filmer? Is he just the camera guy, or is he the editor as well? So a few more questions, but still, that's really cool to see, because Burl's going to be helping out everyone who's a part of it. So, and for that reason, I feel like everyone who puts any energy into a Burl project is going to put as much as they can, because we know people are going to buy this. We make good stuff anyways, but we're going to have to kick it up a notch for Burl. And that's why it's going to be really dope. And here we go. Final post. And then it's Q&A time, or maybe it's not, because we got no questions in there, which isn't a bad thing, because my throat's about to keel over as I take my final sip. Final post is Takia hitting 64 taps. That's it. That's it. Weekly Dama News. Friday, June 30th, here in the JP time. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks for supporting. Hey, if you want to check this out later on, maybe if you're jumping in right now to the live stream here on Instagram, go to YouTube and search anywhere where you get podcasts for Weekly Dama News, and it'll pop up. Subscribe and listen to the pod, or watch over on YouTube. If you want to go above and far beyond, you can check out the Patreon for Kendertainment, a place where you can support all the things that I'm doing here in the different avenues, trying to push kendama to a different, little wave of entertainment for kendama, more than just tricks, something that we can all sink our teeth into a little more and, get a different kind of expressive value from. Does that make sense? I don't know. Thanks, everyone. See you next week. We're going to have more stuff coming. Check out YouTube for multiple reasons, but check out the coach, High Receipts little collab vid. It's pretty dope. That's it again. Thanks, everyone. See you all next time. Keep it clean.